Hi guys. Um, I'm sitting in my car because I did get it out of the mechanic, but now I gotta bring it again for another issue. Yep. Um, so I guess this is always what's happening to me. I gotta constantly spend money on this car just so I could survive, just so I could work. Um, and go to my where I gotta go, but you know. It, I'm not gonna complain much about that because I already have complained every day when I get up. I'm angry about it. Not only that, I'm just angry about life in general. What has happened to me, what I've lost, the lack of support I do not have. There's little to no joy in my life because I have no family, no friends. Or a family I have that was really not much of a family because it's very, very strange relationship. That family, that family don't even live within the state, so it doesn't matter. But I get the only real happiness and like joy I get out of life and uh, willing to keep struggling and suffering. The only thing I have is my kids. So when I see them, which isn't very often, um, I appreciate that greatly. So because the court has what happened in the court was pretty damaging, traumatic, and I'm still working on uh filing the motion for my kids, and then I know once I do that I'm gonna get a backlash and some kind of suing of child support and all that is gonna come at me hard. So I'm ready for that, but I'm not ready for that actually. Right now I'm struggling real bad here in the state by myself, and it really doesn't matter what I decide to do. I'm gonna struggle, so I'm basically used to it. Gotta get used to it and all that, and kind of adjust to that. But it's just that's the only thing that I cared about, live for. That's the narcissist node. No, sorry, I don't know what words I'm saying. I'm making up the words now. That was it. That was it. That guy kept on coming at me, and I mean coming at me hard. And I had nobody backing me up, just help. Nobody with the courage to support me, to keep him away from me. Because if I had a family that stood up for me and got in the way of his abuse, this wouldn't happen. That's what families are supposed to be there for. But I don't have that kind of family. So they're just cowards and they use the situation to their advantage and entertainment value. And so I already discussed on other videos how I lost my kids and the battle I've been in with this ex-husband that's a narcissist, which I think is probably malignant, which is more of a psychopathic narcissist because he's very violent towards me. So you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I can't say. But yeah. He did a lot of damage, and right now is not a cooling period, but I'm not getting many attacks right now because I guess things are going the way he wants at this time. Okay, so he has this little story on why the situation is what it is, why we're not together. He has his whole story on what it is, and it isn't true. And it's all revised history. And so he's just playing a role with me. So anytime he sees me, which I don't want to see him, but anytime I want to plan a day with my daughter that I have time to see her, to see my son, I'd be texting her on the phone, asking her, and just kind of being as understanding as I can due to schedules, but somehow, out of the blue, my son will text me. Looks like my son is some kind of messenger. I already been through this. I recognize what is going on and the roles that they're being put in too, because my family is like this, and my mother is a narcissist, and my brother is a golden child. So I already recognize the roles, but what's going on. So he's telling my son to do this, and then so like yesterday, my son texts me and says, "Do you want to go eat with us?" And I said yes. And then I'm like, okay. And then it didn't even take that long to pick me up, like 10-15 minutes even. Because the narcissist time is when it's their time. It doesn't matter what you're doing, or if you have to get ready. So I didn't get dressed up or anything. I thought it was it wasn't really an upscale restaurant. It was an okay restaurant. I wouldn't, they charge more money, or it's like this place called Black Rock where they bring you a rock. They bring you a rock to cook your meat on. And I'm like, yeah. So they bring you this rock slate, and then it's very, very hot, and then they put a raw steak, which I don't know how this is legal. I don't know how they could do this. Like, you're giving someone literally a raw steak. You know what I'm saying? It's up to them if they cook it, but damn, it's crazy. It's insane, and I don't like it. So, and plus I'm not big on that steak. So whatever, it's always the narcissist picking. So then, you're at the table and then you cook your own steak. That's not something I want to do. If I'm going out to eat, I want to eat something someone else made. I don't want to make it myself. Oh my God, I'll just do that at home. And then they don't have any real... Well, I guess they have seasonings. You gotta ask them, for certain things. But, so then they picked me up. I was dressed in sweatpants, not dressed up. And I wasn't gonna really dress up anyway. But, so I went, and I was like, oh, okay. See, I didn't know that my ex-husband was gonna be there. I'm like, oh, yeah. So then he was in the car, and I'm like, no, man, damn it. I already knew this would happen because I can never have any time alone with my kids by themselves without him there. So we ended up going to the restaurant, but then, he always wants to come and bring some kind of comment to cause a conflict, and it was just like, well, I was a good provider, and this and that, and then this, and then something, and I said, yeah, you were a good provider. I was at home with my kids, and that's what I wanted to do, and I worked also different jobs. But then he wanted to argue about, no, this is that, and things that didn't even happen. And it's like, oh, I had to, and then he was like, oh, I had to come home and feed the kids, and because you didn't cook. And I'm like, get out of here. I know how to cook. I cook. So what are you even talking about? And it was just stupid. I'm like, listen, I don't want to argue about this. I don't want to argue at all. Can you stop? And then I had to end it at that. Somehow. But it sucked because I had to see him. I didn't want to see him. And he's like, oh, remember when you were that age, when my daughter's age, she's 19. Oh, remember when you were that age? And I'm like, yep. You know, I don't really go into depth on this conversation with him because I know where it leads. So I was just kind of boring, gray rock him and stuff. And I'm like, So what are you trying to say? Like, you ruined my life. You ruined my good years when I was young and I used to go to college and stuff. And I was going to do something and I was going to also do modeling and stuff, because I was fit and everything before, and it's just like, why are you bringing this up so I could feel bad? I don't feel bad. I already made peace with all this. In my head, I didn't tell him that. He doesn't need to know. But yeah, so it's like, okay, now you're gonna wait. I'm just thinking about them wasting money in the goddamn restaurant. I'm like, oh, what's cheap on this menu? Because the actual meals are too much. Like, if you're gonna get a meal, which they don't give you many meal options, like 1 or 2 fucking meals. Stupid. I don't like that kind of food. So whatever. It was stupid, and it was a waste of money, and it was just to flex. For who? I don't care. I'm not a superficial person. I don't care that you have enough money to spend on this dinner. I $100, $200, whatever it is. It makes me mad, and I think he knows it makes me mad because I really don't have $100, $200 to buy anything, not even clothes or food in the store for me to cook. So, it's annoying, but it could have been worse, and it didn't get to the point where he didn't push me to the point of no return or anything, so that's good. But I'm really tired, man. It's fog. Look at this shit. This is what I gotta drive in with a Honda Civic, while everyone got a Ford 51 150 fit, whatever the fuck pickup. I don't care because this is Detroit, and that's all they drive is Fords. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. But yeah, this is the Midwest, not the greatest place, let me tell you. Not somewhere you want to come if you don't need to come. If you're from a real good place like a coastal city or something, don't come here. You'll be bored to death. And they don't even have lights on the roads or anything, really. They just put these lights on now, but they weren't on before. It was pitch black here. I don't know. But I thank God every day that He is helping me to get from point A to point B, get to work, pay my rent, and all that, and it's okay. But to deal with these narcissists is a lot of hell. So this is a long video. Oh no, I thought it said 45 minutes. Yeah, I'm very tired. I didn't get much sleep because I don't sleep on a bed. I had an air mattress and it wasn't inflating correctly, so I sleep on the floor basically with it, and it's not fun. It's good for your back, but it's not comforting. It sucks. And all I have is my cat, really, but it's a cat. What is a cat really good for? Like, it's not a human being. I'm not an animal person. I'm not like an anti-human person. That's not me. So yeah, there's that. I'm grateful I made it to work. I'm very, very grateful. And I'm struggling every day, and it sucks, and it's boring, and there's no life in my life. The only life in my life right now is to see my kids, and even if he's there, I don't care. That's all that I fucking care about. So, and this person knows it. And this is why the narcissist is an evil person, or an evil natured being that and they don't change, and they don't think it's wrong, and they're gonna continue doing it until you're dead, you know. There's no change. Don't expect any change, and if you expect anything amicable from them, they could show you some mercy here and there, and it's trying to be, disguised as being nice, but they're not nice. If they could cut you when you're down, they'll do it. They'll find a way. Like not helping with my car, stuff like, because the weather's very poor, and I don't have a big SUV or something, but I still manage. That doesn't mean that life is great for me, but I have to hang in there. I mean, what else is there to do other than either hang in there or kill myself, or I can't do that. So, and plus we can't do that. It's not easy to kill yourself. It's not something that you want to try and accomplish. It's most of the time it fails. So I'm good. But I think I have a responsibility to my kids, so I don't think of it that often as much as I could, because there's still hope, not for any kind of reconciliation with this narcissist, or understanding or compromise, but there's hope that my kids and my relationship, that's all. Like yesterday, my daughter wasn't, I don't know, she was in a bad mood probably because of my ex-husband always pressuring her and this nonsense, man. And then so she kind of, I was like, oh, okay. And then she looked like she was slumped over to the side of the booth, and I kind of like put my hand around her, and she had her head on my shoulder, and I just hugged her, and it felt great. Like, that's the only reason I do any of this shit that I do. Just for those kind of moments, and my son, I got to hug him a few times, so ask him some questions. I'm grateful for that, any little time I get. Sorry, but I've been very stressed out, that's all. So, and then I'm dealing with the landlord, quote unquote, the person I rent from, playing stupid games with me. Even said now, I'm like, listen, you're confusing me. You're telling me one thing, and then you're telling me another. Like, he'd be like, he wants to do all these things with me, and then he goes and says, oh, I'm a religious man, and I don't believe in adultery and all this. I'm like, adultery, okay. Adultery is if you're married and you commit a sin of cheating. You know what I'm saying? And then he just continues on adultery, and I'm like, are you married still, maybe? I don't know. That guy is fucked up. And then I'm like, listen, you confuse me. Why you said you want to do this, that, and the other with me, and then you're too religious to do something like that. And then he's just like, and we did stuff together, and it's like in the beginning when I first got there, like 2 times, I think. And so then he goes to me, well, that was a test, and I have a standards of what I want for a woman. This dude is on Catholic, supposedly, whatever. If you really, really believe in your Catholic beliefs, you're strict, you know, but he's such a hypocrite because he did stuff with me. Like, what are you talking about, dude? If anything, you're gonna be punished from God for fucking around with me sexually like that, and then playing games, and then saying, what was it? Yeah, I was checking off the list of things on and testing you, and you don't pass my qualifications. You don't pass my qualifications for a woman. And I'm like, oh my God. And you want to know some of the checklists on his list, like, must be a fit and fit must be fit and tight body, must love to wake up early in the mornings, because 6 in the morning is not early enough for him, because he wanted me to get up at 4 in the morning, even though I don't have to work till 7:30. Very religious, or whatever, all the things imaginary that you would think a perfect woman would have or something is on his stupid checklist of a woman. And I guess he makes the money, so he gets to choose. I don't fucking know. But so I didn't pass. So I'm like, whatever. I'm not offended. I really don't care. He can't take a joke. He's very rigid and strict and just, ugh. He don't like any of my jokes. He don't laugh at my jokes. Forget it. We ain't gonna match anyway. But dude is stupid. So I just pay him the money and that's that. I don't see him really anymore. But he constantly texts me every day. He talks to me every day and texts me. Like, what the fuck? Tells me everything he's doing. Like, dude, are we married? Are we married? Because you're telling me everything that you're doing. It's weird. It's a weird thing. It's a relationship, let me tell you. But yeah, and then I have another situation with this guy, man. I met at this other job, man. This person really, really scares me. Troubles me a lot. So I gotta talk about him after I get out of work, because I gotta go. But alright, so I gotta cut this short now. Alright, so that's what I wanted to say. An update on me and stuff. And look at this shit. This is Michigan. Not a fun place. Alright, so guys, thank you for watching. Please like and comment to encourage me to make these videos, and have a great day. Bye.